Welcome to the AFC East Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight, analysis, and heavy debates on all things AFC East. From the best creators in the division, including Buffalo Bills creator Dan Mitchell, Miami Dolphins creator TD Finstock, New York Jets creator Richie from Jets Media, and finally New England Patriots creator Colby from Patriots Global. Make sure you catch the AFC East Roundtable live every Monday at 7 p.m. EST and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST on the AFC East Roundtable YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the AFC East Roundtable. The dust is settled from the NFL trade deadline. We had several teams do absolutely nothing, i.e. the Bills and the New England Patriots, and the Jets did everything, but on the seller's side of things. We also have Week 10 previews and predictions for you, a very exciting show. Strap in and hit that thumbs up sign for us. I know a lot of you watch without hitting that thumbs up sign. That better change. I swear on everything that's holy. Richie, what's going on?
That better change indeed, man. We were late because we're waiting for TD, man. TD's not joining us, I guess. Unfortunate, but we were waiting for TD to join. So I think he's under the weather. He was not here on 4th and Forever. He's feeling a little sick right now because he's noticing the New York Jets are doing the rebuild properly, and those Miami Dolphins are not. So we're already a step ahead of there. But hey, man, we're living for another day right now. It's interesting opportunity for these New York Jets. I'm excited to talk about it. We got Week 10 right around the corner. We had an awesome stream yesterday on Bleacher Report, by the way. Us four. Shout out to everybody in the chat that tuned in to our Bleacher Report segment on the main Bleacher Report channel. It has like 4.7 million subscribers. I noticed a lot of roundtable people in the live chat representing and supporting us. We appreciate that, man. Colby, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Man, I'm absolutely amazing. Obviously, like Dan said, the trade deadline in some ways was a little disappointing, but also understandable at the same time. And, I'll wait to break that down because I think we will get into a little bit of a trade deadline kind of recap here because I think there's a lot to talk about with the Patriots despite them not making a move. There's a lot to talk about with the Bills despite them not making a move. And obviously, the talk of the town is the New York Jets and what does the future ultimately hold for them? I think there's a lot to talk about that. So really excited to get into that and really excited to get into Week 10 because Patriots got a damn good game lined up.
So do the Jets, man. Big game this Sunday. The Jets.
A big game for the Jets and the Cleveland Browns.
Should be flexed to prime time.
Good God, man. You know what? Like, there are several theories as into why TD Finstock did not show up today. He's sick, right? But he could be sick for 3 different reasons. Number one, he knows the Buffalo Bills are coming into town. All right? That's enough to make a grown man sick. All right? And then number 2, it had to do with how even after the Miami Dolphins show a glimmer of hope of firing Chris Greer, they still are showing signs of being an incompetent organization. Colby, hear me out, because Richie and I were having this conversation on 4th and Forever. You would assume, right, that Miami would do whatever they possibly could to stack up as many draft picks as humanly possible for the incoming GM this upcoming offseason. Wouldn't you assume that? So the fact that we heard all of these players, Bradley Chubb with Jalen Waddle, that were getting interest, but Miami was standing pat and they needed a specific price point to let these guys walk, just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that they really were in a position to be picky as far as demanding a first for Jalen Waddle in this player, demanding a 3rd rather than a 4th for Bradley Chubb, or demanding a 2nd for Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm looking at this in a variety of different ways, and I think that the Miami Dolphins completely dropped the ball. In fact, I would say out of every single team in the AFC East, I think they get the biggest or the worst grade during the NFL trade deadline for not going about it that way. Thoughts?
Yeah, I certainly can see where you're coming from, and I think it's kind of a rough bridge to walk across because you don't just want to ship off players if you're a bad team just to ship them off. Our asking price is a 1st round for Waddle, but all we're getting is a 4, so I guess we'll take it. You also don't want to do that, but I wonder if there's a world in which Miami could have met teams in the middle. Okay, we're asking for a 1st, but no team's willing to give us a 1st. A team's maybe willing to give us a 2nd round pick. Okay, give us a 2nd round pick and a 4th, a 2nd round pick and a 5th. Meet in the middle, and that way you're getting some type of of capital to be able to look forward to in 2026. And I just think that Miami just doesn't know what they're doing right now. You fire the GM, but then we're hearing Mike McDaniels is still in the mix and that he's not going to be fired. He could still be returning, next year. And then you get to the trade deadline. They don't do anything. A few weeks ago, we heard that they were still looking to try and be competitive this year. And so it's this weird situation where they're trying to not fully go into a rebuild. They're trying to hold on to certain aspects of the team because they're scared to have to go into another rebuild for the second time in less than 10 years. And so I think that they have to do one of two things. They really have to buy into Mike McDaniels, buy into this regime, go full in, extend your star players, make trades at the trade deadline to make your roster better, or you need to fire Mike McDaniels. You just fired the GM. You need to go out there and you need to trade some of your star players to go into the draft, go into the offseason with ammunition to build around your new regime, whoever that might be, in a way that they want to. Because if they do fire Mike McDaniels, it's going to be a brand new regime, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. And so there's going to be players that might be very good players right now that won't fit the regime. And now you're going to get less value for them. The value is the highest for players at the trade deadline because teams who feel like they're one piece away, two pieces away, they're going to be a little bit more desperate. When you get into the offseason, several players league-wide are becoming available. And when there's a surplus of good players that are available for trade, the value of the players is ultimately going to go down because there's so many different options. And so I do agree with you, Dan. I do think Miami did drop the ball here, and they need to decide, are we going to the right and are we sticking with this regime and fully bought in? Or are we going to look to the left side and just completely reset this thing? You can't be in the middle. That's what bad teams do. And that's what keeps teams every single year in this purgatory state where you're winning 5-6 games.
And so I could see a world where they wanted to make the GM make his own decisions, say that he does want to trade Waddle or he does want to walk away from some of these other contracts. It's his own decision. But at the exact same time, what competent GM would want to keep those players of the old regime still on that roster? Because their DNA of what they've been building for the past couple of years clearly does not work. Like we saw the high-flying offense with Tua, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. And what did that get them? Not a lot. Not a lot. Richie, thoughts on the Miami Dolphins and how they run their organization?
Yeah, man. I mean, I said on the Bleacher Report show that the Dolphins could be having a fire sale, and it didn't. They just made one trade, and it makes you wonder, what is the plan moving forward? You fire Chris Grier, and when you fired Chris Grier, everyone's like, okay, well, Chris Grier is the guy that is holding on to everything. He doesn't want to trade everybody because he realizes that everybody that's here are the guys that he brought in, and he wants to win with them. So they fire him just to make one trade. I mean, it takes two to tango. Maybe there wasn't teams out there as interested in Waddle or Fitzpatrick or these guys as much as they thought, but I don't understand the philosophy for the Miami Dolphins at the deadline. This was their opportunity to kind of reset, retool, add some, ammunition because you're not winning with this core. And I don't know if what their plan is because you have Tua Tagovailoa now under contract next year. You could eat a lot of dead cap if you want to get rid of him, but I don't think that's going to happen. And it seems like their head coach is still trying to save his job. He's not going anywhere. There's a chance that the Dolphins run it back with McDaniel. He got extended last year. So I don't know if Ross wants to fire him and have to pay him a lot of money on top of a new head coach, on top of a new GM. The Miami Dolphins are in shambles, and I don't want to be that guy, but I told you so. I mean, I have been on record about the Miami Dolphins all offseason, and people called me a Dolphins hater and all these things, and I was just keeping it as real as I possibly could about it. I saw this coming from a mile away. Like, this team was destined to blow everything up. But they did not blow it up properly, in my opinion. They fired their GM. They haven't fired their head coach yet. They should. And they're a bad organization, losing football games. And yeah, I know the Jets have a worse record. I'm not saying that we're good or anything like that. I'm not saying the Jets are in a better spot. Maybe we are. But at the end of the day, I saw this coming from a mile away based off of the offseason and all their moves.
Damn. Well, I will tell you what. We need to transition over to the big storyline of the trade deadline. That's the damn New York Jets, man. The New York Jets out there going on a fire sale. And you know what? Bravo, Richie, because that's how I think Miami should have handled their trade deadline as well.
Well, we also have better players than the Dolphins, so that's why we're
true.
Get
yeah. Very, very true. However, your GM stood pat on his price for all of these players. I can give him a lot of credit for that. I don't think Miami was in that position, but you guys certainly were. I think it speaks volumes when you deny the Kansas City Chiefs Breece Hall. Thank you so much for that. However, Sauce Gardner over to the Indianapolis Colts. I think we can all agree, like James Palmer said on Bleacher Report, Sauce Gardner on the Jets was more of a luxury, right? And it didn't really make a whole lot of sense based off of where your team was as a whole. And with the value that you were able to get from him in 2 first-round picks, absolutely. Followed by Quinnen Williams, first round, a second round. By the way, I did see his brother. I saw his interview earlier today where he said he was going through his own problems and he was trying to get his starting job back. Wow. A lot of things are going on in New York as we can speak. But now that everything is over with, are you happy the Jets went about the trade deadline as they did?
I am very impressed. That's how I'm going to look at it. I'm impressed. It feels like we have grown men running this football team. This was Darren Muji's opportunity, our GM, to kind of show us the type of general manager he is. He was not shopping Sauce Gardner. He wasn't calling everybody like, hey, man, we want to trade Sauce. So let me make sure that's clear. Sauce was never up for sale. The entire NFL world had no idea that Sauce was even up for grabs because the Colts were the ones that aggressively wanted him. The Colts called the Jets a few weeks ago about Sauce. The Jets were like, we're not trading Sauce unless you give us a ridiculous offer. And then the Colts came back this week and they gave him a very aggressive offer. And if you offer the Jets 2 first-round picks and a wide receiver in A.D. Mitchell, who went in the second round, who did not fit well in that organization, has upside on a team that desperately needs wide receiver help, I mean, it really does reset the entire outlook of this team. And the Jets love Azareye'h Thomas, their corner they drafted at FSU. I love AZ Thomas as well. He was the guy I told you guys at the Senior Bowl, and I'm on record saying this. I'm like, yo, that dude from FSU, if there was someone that reminds me of Sauce, it's AZ Thomas. And the Jets ended up drafting him. I thought he would be the guy that could be a long-term answer next to Sauce, not the guy to replace Sauce. So that was a little weird there. But so AZ Thomas is now going to start in his place. And there's 2 reactions that you have as a Jets fan. There's the immediate reaction of shock and what? Our favorite players are gone? Quinnen and Sauce? That stinks. Those are our favorite guys. Those are the faces of the defense. But then you step back and look at the business perspective. The Jets have a ridiculous amount of draft picks in the next 2 drafts. They've freed up their cap space. This is what a real rebuild is about. Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn have every single reason now to build a team their way. But at the end of the day, if they don't land their quarterback, none of this matters. That's the big thing. Will the Jets go in the draft to get their quarterback? Will they go in free agency? Will they trade for one? That's the next question. But the fact that the Jets were gung-ho and they were stern on their assets of what they were going to get for these players, they did not budge. I love that. They're not just pushovers. They're not a team that's like, oh, well, all right, fine. We'll give up this guy for that amount, even though our price is this. Like, no, they are absolutely grounded in their prices. And the value they got for Quinnen still blows my mind. A first and a second for Quinnen. I know Smith was a throw-in, but
Jones.
Absolutely ridiculous
Jerry
value
Jones,
the Jets got.
Come on.
And the fact that they got a 2027 first instead of the 26 first-round pick is very, very good because, hey, all I'm going to say is the 2027 class is absolutely stacked. And for everybody, the last thing I'll say that says Sauce Gardner is overrated and Sauce Gardner is trash and everything, he just went for 2 first-round picks. I mean, that's a big price to pay for an overrated trash player. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Damn.
And the Jets did when they extended Sauce. They're thinking ahead. They made sure that contract they gave him was tradable. That is also forward thinking. I got to say this, man. I'm very, very impressed with Darren Muji. I think he has done a tremendous job as GM, trading for Brownlee, trading for these guys, getting players in return. I think is very important. The Jets have a big hole at wide receiver. They get A.D. Mitchell. Let's not forget they got John Mechie III, 2 former second-round picks. The Jets are desperate for youth at that position. They got it. And now they're taking swings. And this team is obviously in a rebuild mode. And now the Jets got everything that possibly can from an ammunition perspective. How were the Lions able to break through their rebuild? They had a plethora of draft picks and they hit grand slams in the draft. Now it's all on the Jets to do the same.
All on the Jets to do the same. Sitting on a treasure trove of first-round picks, but we all know that those are going to be packaged and sent over to Arizona for K1. to be your
Nah,
quarterback.
Joey B, bro. Joey
You were on
Shiesty.
Bleacher Report, you would know.
Funny enough, dude, funny enough, man, like with our buddy Jesse, when he came in here earlier, he was like, dude, we would take a second pick for Brock Purdy. That would be hysterical.
Mac Jones
That
for
would
a
be
bridge
really
quarterback.
funny.
So we kick the can down the road for, another bridge, and then we draft our quarterback
2027. Yeah. You can go after that Ohio State kid. He's a freshman now, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But
I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets go for another bridge quarterback this year to kind of just make sure this team is ready for the quarterback. Because the last thing they can do is get a quarterback in here when we're not really ready. You got to fill out the roster. It's a very interesting spot the Jets are in, man. I am very shocked that they were able to do what they were able to do, man.
And so you would need Fields on a post-June 1st cut designation in order to make it work.
We have so much cash. Even if we cut him outright, it's like
burn it. Why not? Yeah, burn it, baby. All right, Colby, what do you got, man, on the Jets trade deadline? Were you happy with what they did from an objective perspective?
I mean, as a Patriots fan for a second, obviously I'm happy that they're trading away two of arguably some of the biggest defenders in the NFL, obviously the biggest defenders, for that team. That makes 2025 obviously a whole lot easier for the Patriots in terms of, I wasn't worried about those games before, but now you're definitely not worried about those games. And so that's definitely positive. But from an outside perspective, I mean, just really, really good job by the Jets. I mean, that was my thought process through this. You understood where you were at. And that's the difference between the Jets and the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, which direction do we want to go? The Jets accepted their fate. It's a brand new system. We're a one-win team. We're not doing well. Let's just trade house with guys that are not fitting this system per se, or guys that are older. Let's bring in younger guys. Let's get these guys on rookie deals, and let's build this thing from the ground up in the way that we want to do so. And you have a crap ton of draft picks to be able to do whatever you want. It kind of reminds me in some ways what the Miami Dolphins did a few years ago when they were trading off all of these players. They entered a full-on rebuild. They used some of those draft picks in the draft, but they used some of those draft picks to get established players that fit their system. They got Tyreek Hill. They got Jalen Ramsey. And I think that that's something else that the New York Jets can do that I don't think a lot of people are necessarily talking about. Everybody's looking, we have this draft pick and that draft pick. Who are guys we want in the draft? But also be looking at who are guys that you want that you could potentially be making trades for, because I promise you, the New York Jets are not going to use every single one of those picks just on the draft. They're going to use some of those to package together some trades and bring some players in. I can almost guarantee you that. And so they did part one, but you're just getting started. This is not the end. You are just getting started with the actual battle, and that is making sure you use those draft picks correctly. It's easy to get draft picks, but it's a completely other thing to make sure that you hit on those draft picks. And that's been a problem for the New York Jets, is making sure that they hit on those picks. And at the end of the day, it's great if you have the capital, but you have that capital to be able to bring in good players and update your roster. And so if you don't hit on those, now the New York Jets are setting themselves back for at least the next decade. This is going to be, this offseason, next offseason, two of the biggest offseasons that maybe we have seen under the New York Jets ever. If you do not do this correctly, you are setting yourselves back for, at minimum, the next decade. So I love the moves. Honestly, when it comes to the Sauce Gardner trade, I wasn't necessarily as impressed by the Jets because again, like Richie said, they weren't shopping Sauce. I don't think the Jets front office did anything special. My big takeaway about that was the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, the fact that they gave away 2 first-round picks, damn, if I'm the Jets, I'm saying, Except you can't go back. You already said 2 first-round picks, because we see quarterbacks going for that value. Sometimes quarterbacks don't even go for that high. So the fact that they got that for a cornerback is absolutely mind-boggling to me. The only constructive criticism that I really have with the Jets is that, look, if you're really going into this full-on rebuild, you're trashing 2025, I would have also gotten rid of Breece Hall. Supposedly, you guys wanted a 3rd-round pick. Casey offered a 4th-round pick in return, and you stayed pat, and you kind of did the Miami Dolphins route. Well, if you don't give us the 3rd, we're not getting rid of him. Breece Hall wants out of New York. He requested his trade at the end of the day. And so considering he's in a contract year, considering he doesn't want to be in New York, I don't see a situation where Breece Hall is going to be on the New York Jets long-term after this year. I think you should have traded him, gotten something for him anyway. There's no point in saying, but we want to keep good players on our team. For what? You trying to win games? No, you made it clear you're not trying to win games. And I've seen the idea that, if we stick with him and we allow him to go into free agency, then we'll get our 3rd-round comp pick anyway. And more likely than not, no, you're not going to get that third-round comp pick. In order to get a third-round comp pick, you would need Breece Hall to go into free agency, sign a contract that is in the top 5% of free agent contracts in next year's offseason. On top of that, if the Jets go out there and make big moves in free agency, it's going to offset itself, and now you're not getting a comp pick anyway. So that's one guy I would have gotten rid of. I do like the fact that you guys did also, and this is the last thing I'll say, I do like the fact that you guys did also add some younger players who maybe didn't work out with their teams. Sometimes they just need a change of scenery. When it comes to Mozzie Smith, don't expect a whole lot from him. He's not going to be your Quinnen Williams replacement. This is a guy that's a really just a pure nose tackle. He's going to come in, big body, stop the run, really not giving you much upside as a pass rusher. He's had some really difficult seasons in back-to-back years. As for A.D. Mitchell, please do not think that this is going to be your next coming at wide receiver. Same thing with John Mechie. I know that Jets fans, they kind of have this new thing coming in, and all of a sudden it's like they won the lottery. It's best case scenario. A.D. Mitchell, yes, you can say part of it was on the system, but he's worked with several different quarterbacks, and he has struggled with several different quarterbacks. I mean, a passer rating when target of 66.5 this season. Last year, it was also in that 60 range too. And so we'll see if you guys can get more out of him, but don't think you're getting a wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 2. I do still think that at best, A.D. Mitchell is going to be a depth piece for you, but why not see what you guys can ultimately get from him? So I do agree with that.
One thing I'll add about the Breece situation that the Jets do have leverage is the franchise tag. So they could tag him and force his hand to stay here next year. They have all the cash in the world. It's like the top 5 average salary, and it's like fully guaranteed against the cap that year. And the Jets got all the cap in the world. So if they really wanted to keep Breece and next year, I would assume like 13, 14, 15-ish. Or maybe even cheaper than that, because that's something I think the Jets are probably going to do is franchise tag him so he can't walk. And because he's a good player, the Jets don't want him. They obviously value him. And obviously they said no to the Chiefs for that 4th. And maybe that's what they want to do because, you know, they didn't trade anybody on offense. They're trying to, and they added players on offense. So make sure that's noted. They traded defensive players, not offensive players. And they realized that this Jets team has had a big issue with offense for years and years and years. They added players at wide receiver. They kept Breece Hall, kept Garrett Wilson. So we'll see if they keep Breece on the franchise tag. But we shall see. We shall see.
It looks like probably like $15 to $20 million you'd be giving him.
Yeah. So I was just looking at your defense on PFF, bro. And they don't even have a picture for Azareye'h Thomas.
Bunch of
It's just the Jets logo. It's just the Jets logo.
Hey, bro, what do you
there
mean?
for him.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, Quincy Williams, who we just mentioned, allegedly lost his job. He's fighting for his job back.
I'll give you a 6.
Briggs fills in. To fill against that crazy Cleveland Brown. That's going to be an awful game this week, man. Holy hell.
Don't sleep on Azareye'h Thomas. That's my boy. All right. The new Sauce Gardner, baby. Woo. And Brandon Stevens. You see that guy? Brandon Stevens. He's the #1 graded corner in football since week 4 or week 3 or something like that.
18th overall. Not bad.
Brutal start to the season. He's been picking it up. And the Jets won. Their only win was without Sauce, which is funny. So the Jets obviously have a lot of high expectations for Azareye'h Thomas. But yeah, the defense is obviously taking a step back without Quinnen. The Jets have no defensive tackle depth now that you can be excited about. But we shall see, man. The Jets got some pieces on offense. Offensive line is solid. And we shall see what they do. Yeah, John Simpson, he's definitely going to walk in free agency, most likely. He's a free agent, and we're probably going to go in the draft and get our left guard for the future.
He's probably going to get the hell up out of there. That's for damn sure.
And don't sleep on Mason Taylor, baby.
Well, hey, we can shift to some more exciting news with 2 teams that
that was exciting.
Have winning records.
We got some super chats we got to get to, though, before that.
Rock in for me. I will start your goal just because I can. Oh, what's our goal for the chat?
20 super chats. We got 6. So DF started it off. Do you think we can hit 20 super chats? We have 6 so far.
Easily.
That's confident. Dolphins could do all of that, but they will suck regardless. Go Bills.
Go Bills, man. Go Bills midnight. Dan, you can't have G5. Smoke Bob. I wanted G5, and Bean wanted G5 too, dude. Bean wanted
the Jets literally left Brandon Bean on voicemail. The Jets didn't even pick up the phone when being called a second time. Apparently.
No. He was blowing him up, brother. Yeah, he was blowing him up. He was like a crazy ex-girlfriend. He was like a crazy ex-girlfriend trying to hop on the phone for Garrett Wilson.
Like, I'm trying to trade Quinn and Williams, man. Get off. Stop being. I'm not trading Garrett Wilson. He ain't going nowhere. Thank God, dude. I would not have been able to handle that. We got the DT stick.
Oh, dude.
First, a Roundtable Sports member, and now AFC East.
So my boy became a member on my channel this morning, okay? And then he became a member on Fourth and Forever. And now he is a member on the AFC East Roundtable. We appreciate
That's the way to do it.
It's pretty sick. Speaking of a member, man, we have Didi, who's a member for 26 months.
Dude, up. Talk about commitment.
No matter what, let's go Dodgers, back-to-back champs. Ooh, Dan, did you watch that Game 7? I know you're somewhat of a baseball guy.
I played baseball. No, I did not, to be honest with you, man. I really don't watch a lot of baseball. I played, but yeah, I never really got into it.
Yeah, that was peak baseball, man. I mean, that World Series was something I've never witnessed before. So shout out to the Dodgers for winning, but watching that Game 7, I mean, even people that are not baseball fans tuned in were like, whoa. And yeah, baseball, shout out to the Dodgers, but also screw them at the same time. Ryan, $20 super chat. Ryan, are you kidding me? Thank you so much, my friend. Heading to Miami to watch my Bills game in person this weekend. His first Bills game.
Ryan Winkler, dude, first off, thank you for your generosity. Have a great time. Have a great time in Josh Allen Park, dude. It's going to be a great time.
Josh Allen Park.
Thank you so much for the $20 super chat, my friend. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your first football experience. Colby, you talk trash on the AFC West Roundtable about my Bills. You fools going to get smacked soon. Go Bills. Colby's making takes on the AFC West Roundtable. What are you saying over there, Colby?
I honestly don't even know what I said, but whatever I said, it was legitimate, dog. I mean, look at that profile picture. What are you, 10? You're always trashing me. You're trashing me on my channel, man. So what did I say about the Bills that wasn't correct? You know what I'm saying? You're probably trashing the Patriots, talking some shiz because you're still mad that the Patriots beat you. Oh, the Patriots aren't that good. They have an easy schedule. Well, the Patriots have an easy schedule. You're only a few spots behind. So what does that actually mean about your team? Think about it. You're actually roasting yourself. Like nothing I said.
So what did you say about them damn Buffalo Bills on the AFC West Roundtable?
Dan, you didn't watch? You didn't watch the AFC West Roundtable?
No. I didn't. I should have, though. And because I wanted to drink Marcus said
something. I'm sure Marcus said something, and then I responded to something.
He was like them damn Buffalo Bills, man.
Well, no. So what Marcus said was Marcus said that they did what they always do. They beat us in the regular season. Now try beating us in the playoffs. And I said, that's fair. That's fair.
See, but the thing is, and we already talked about this, I am not buying that energy this year. You're telling me that that Andy Reid and that Chiefs team went into the game saying, we're going to give a vanilla game plan against the Buffalo Bills while we're third place in the AFC West and on the verge of going 5-4. Give me a break. That is coping as much as I possibly see.
What do you mean, man? The Chiefs
Bills fans using the word coping is a little ironic, though, after what you guys did when the Patriots beat you. Bite me, Bills fans.
I didn't.
I'm not sorry. No, Dan, you were a good one. You were a good one. But there was a lot of Bills fans crying in the chat trying to find reasons why the Patriots didn't actually win that game. Let's be honest. Oh, it was the refs. It was this. It was that. No, it's because they were the better team and you had 11 penalties in back-to-back weeks. But I concede.
Yeah, it was discipline. It was definitely discipline.
I thought I was going to be a war, so I dropped out for a second, but I'm back.
It could have been a war, Richie.
It's coming. It's coming.
I know it is. Colby, the Jets will rebuild forever. They never hit on quarterback. We haven't yet, but we will. All right? We will. Whether it is in free agency, whether it is in the draft, whether it is a trade. I believe Darren Muji will find us our quarterback, bro.
But so Richie, looking at
that. So I love my boy right here. And so I love my boy in here. He calls into my show every now and again. But dude must have spent close to hundreds of dollars saying the same thing. The same 3 comments with the super chat. Dude, my guy.
Well worth
holy
it.
Hell.
Well worth it.
He's a man of few takes. I like it.
But Richie, looking at the fact that you guys have struggled to draft and develop quarterbacks, more specifically on the develop side, would you rather use these draft picks to go get an established quarterback, or would you rather try and take a hit on a young quarterback?
I'd rather go after a veteran, but unfortunately, it's out of your control of who's available. Like, oh, well, it didn't work with Aaron Rodgers, bro. It didn't work with Zach Wilson either. And you gave up on Sam Darnold too easily. I'm sick of people saying, like, well, why would you try that, dude? The Aaron Rodgers experiment failed. Yeah, drafting quarterbacks, yeah, that worked out too. Give me a veteran all day. But again, that's out of your control, man, because you got to see who's available. Like, I really think like a Jared Goff situation here, I really do think that's the mindset. I don't know if this Jets team wants to develop a quarterback, bring in a veteran. I would love Dak Prescott, for example. That's a guy I would love. Kyler Murray? Give me Joe Burrow.
Murray's a bum. Ryan became a member, too. Ryan became a member. Shout out to Ryan, and he capped it off with a super chat. Well, the Bills played like ass. Get you next time. Well, hey, you know what, man? I'm not concerned about the Patriots as of now until they're back on our schedule. Right now, all right, once they're back on the schedule, man, we could talk a little Bills.
Didn't make any moves, Dan. I would have been scared if you guys went out and got a wide receiver. I really would.
Well, we hung up on you for Garrett Wilson.
I think that's actually a good segue. So because both of our teams were quiet, like during this deadline.
Disappointingly, right? Dan.
And
you guys are so boring, dude. You should be more fun. Like,
yeah, we sat on our hands.
I feel like losing and like honestly, the deadline's cooler than winning games.
So when you look at all of the teams that are currently in the playoff picture right now in the AFC, virtually all of them sat on their hands with the exception of the Indianapolis Colts. Every other team in the AFC that has a playoff spot right now just rode with what they had. So it's not just the Bills. It's not just the Patriots. It was the Colts. Oh, excuse me. It was the Steelers as well, who was, I suppose, aggressive at the deadline as well. But so I think a lot of Bills fans were mad about the whole wide receiver thing. But I think this anger is kind of weird. I'm not mad that Brandon Beane didn't submit a better bid for Rashid Shaheed. Like, that guy is a wide receiver one upside sort of dude. For a third and a sixth, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about Jacoby Myers going over to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both of those guys, if you have been watching me for the past couple of weeks, those two were at the bottom of my list. I said, if anything, if we are going to make a move on the outside for a receiver, then I wanted it to be a dude. I wanted it to be the Jalen Waddles of the world. I wanted it to be the Olaves. I wanted it to be the Garrett Wilsons of the world. And Brandon Beane made calls. And that is now a known fact that he ultimately tried to call the Dolphins and the New York Jets for Waddle and Garrett Wilson. I don't know the specifics of what he offered. He just said that, quote unquote, they weren't available to us and they weren't willing to ship them over to the Buffalo Bills.
You're right.
So does it suck that we weren't able to go on ahead and bring either of those two guys to our roster? Sure. But like, it's funny because like really when it came into true wide receiver ones that were even remotely available, those were the only three names that interest me. I did not want Calvin Ridley. And so I heard that Buffalo is also somewhat interested in Deebo Samuel, which I wouldn't have been too excited about either if that were to go through. So like, this is how I look at it, right? Josh Allen has often said that he has no weapons, but when you look at all across the field, right now where it stands, as far as advanced metrics, Dalton Kincaid is the best tight end in football. As far as EPA per target and DVOA. And so Richie does not believe anything that doesn't come from Madden, like Madden ratings. Like, he's not a high Madden rating type guy. Listen, man, like we're talking about advanced football here, kids. Advanced football we're talking about right now. But no, it is an absolute fact. With Dalton Kincaid is by and large the best tight end in the National Football League with all advanced metrics.
This is the problem, man. This right here.
Why did you call me out like that? How do you know?
He said you watch Madden.
Yeah. He's obsessed with those Madden statistics. No. Look, he is the best tight end. You have James Cook, who is the second best running back in the NFL with all advanced metrics, only second to Jonathan Taylor, and literally the difference is about 0.1%. And we have the number one pass protecting offensive line in the league. We have the number two run blocking offensive line in the league. So how I look at it is there is no excuse. That is enough on paper. Remove the Buffalo Bills name. If you have a team that has top three in all of those position groups, quarterback, offensive line, running back, and a tight end, that should be enough to win you a Super Bowl. Because when you end up looking at defenses where they end up spending their money, the majority of the money that they spend in their secondary are on perimeter corners. That's where the majority of cap funnels into. Buffalo struggles targeting outside of the numbers. So when Buffalo runs into teams that have a top 3 run defense, but also excel in coverage in between the numbers, then yeah, like we're probably going to be having some issues with that. But those teams are few and far between. You need elite personnel to run those sort of game plans. If not, then every single team would be running that game plan on the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills would not have won a game all season. So how I look at it is, yeah, I'm pissed that we didn't bring in a wide receiver, but at the exact same time, how we are structured, how we are built, in my eyes, there's still no excuse. This is still a roster that can compete for a Super Bowl. And there's no excuse, wide receiver or not. That's kind of how I look at it.
Wow.
It's kind of how I look
to
at
win
it.
a Super Bowl. Super Bowl or bust? AFC Championship in L is a disappointment.
That roster's not built to win a Super Bowl, man. Come on.
So I do like Nick Harbor out of South Carolina for the draft next year for a receiver on the outside.
Already talking draft, Dan. Come on, what happened to Super Bowl?
Dude, look, man, I cover the NFL, right? I'm going to the Senior Bowl, right? I'm trying to prep myself. I'm trying to get familiar.
Flex it.
I'm trying to get familiar a little bit. You know what I mean?
With the 27th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills select.
31st, probably. Yeah, we'll get bounced by the Lions, probably.
So Dan has them going to the Super Bowl, but getting spanked.
Yeah.
If there's one thing
we'll get bounced by the Lions, man. We'll go 0-5 in the Super Bowl, probably. That's probably what it's going to be.
I can guarantee you, when Josh Allen gets to his first Super Bowl, he's losing it. Come on.
Dude, there's
and so I'd rather not go at all.
Losing the Super Bowl.
Nah,
and so I'd rather not go at all.
You want to be there. You're going to be there interviewing the boys, bro.
Yeah. But like, dude, like, oh my God, I wouldn't even. Oh my God. Anyway, Colby, similar situation for the New England Patriots. It sounds like your fan base was pretty upset that you guys did not make a move. What is your message to Patriots fans in regards to that?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's the trade deadline. And I think that a lot of people see the trade deadline and they see an opportunity to just do something fun. Oh, this is like Madden. We get to upgrade the roster. We get a new player. I can't wait to see what the new player does. I can't wait to look at that name on the back of the jersey. And maybe I'll even get his jersey. I think that's what the majority of fans kind of want from this. But did the Patriots need to go out there and make a move? No. And I think that you see a team like the Colts, they're buying into the window that they have right now. They're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think we always forget what the name of the game is for the Patriots this season. It's not a Super Bowl. It's not a deep playoff run. That's not what this team is right now built to do. That wasn't the philosophy behind the season. The philosophy was, can this team get to 8 or 9 wins, double their win total of last year, show that they are building on something and take that into 2026? Can this be a place that establishes a winning culture and an identity and people want to play for New England again? If they get to the playoffs, at that point, anything is house money. You know, if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, who cares? They're already well ahead of schedule. If they go to the AFC Championship game and then lose, guess what? They're still ahead of schedule. And so I think that, yes, you wanted to see the team maybe make some moves to try and go on a deeper run, but they absolutely did not need to because they're not one piece away. This New England Patriots team is still multiple pieces away from truly competing. And so they were making trade calls. I do think that they wanted edge rusher and running back. From what it sounds like, they did want Jalen Phillips. I never thought that it was going to happen. Dan, I kind of laughed when you mentioned that your team was looking at 2 wide receivers in division. That's absolutely comical because division trades don't happen. They more specifically don't happen with big name players, because if you're doing that, you're making your team bad by shipping off a star player, but you're making your job even harder down the line because now you have to play a team twice a year that's in division that you just made better. Those moves don't happen. And then you started to see all these other edge players go off the board, and it was like, yeah, this team's not going to make a move. More specifically, they were calling about Tony Pollard. A lot of the guys that the Patriots were calling about We're a part of the Tennessee Titans. Makes a ton of sense. Mike Vrabel used to play there, has connections with these players, knows how to utilize these guys immediately straight off the bat. But based off reports, the owner of Tennessee was vetoing any trade to New England because she's still upset about how things went with Mike Vrabel. And that's exactly why the Tennessee Titans are a bad organization, because of moves just like that. We're upset that you were close to the New England Patriots, that we fired you. Now you're on the New England Patriots, so we're not going to make any trades that could potentially help our team right now. That's what bad organizations do. And so I think that's also what ultimately came down to the Patriots not making a move. Last thing I'll say is that I do believe they would have made a move with Tennessee if not for that reason, but it wasn't going to be a big move. You were either getting a Tony Pollard, you were getting an Arden Key, you were getting a depth piece in the secondary. You weren't getting like a number one bona fide player. So is what it is.
Mm-hmm. It is what
great.
it is.
This culture.
And by the way, so with players' value as far as draft compensation typically takes a significant dive in the offseason compared to the deadline.
Exactly.
It is grossly overpriced at this time of the year. So that's likely where a lot of GMs, so where their heads were at, if you will.
We'll take 2 firsts. We'll
Very few players should make big-time trades, Dan, because if you're making a big-time trade like that at the deadline, it's because you believe you are a legitimate Super Bowl contender, not a playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender. And if you believe you're not there yet, don't ship off that capital that could be going to a younger player that helps you now and the future.
Yeah. Speaking of the playoffs, like just like a side topic, I don't think that the Colts are going to finish with the first seed. I found something about Daniel Jones that reminds me a lot of Tua. Now, Daniel Jones, he throws to his first read more than anybody in the NFL. He has 201 pass attempts exclusively to his first read. He is not going through his progressions at all. And when you look at how the Pittsburgh Steelers played him last week, like they bought into that, and boom, you have about 5 like turnovers over in a game. Like we would troll Tua for years about being unable to throw to anybody outside of his first read. So I got a funny feeling that the demise of the Indianapolis Colts is going to start soon.
That's why A.D. Mitchell never got his targets.
He was never the first read.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he was never the first read, man. I think the Indianapolis Colts are about to falter, and we're about to see familiar Daniel Jones here. And just
or maybe you're terrified of the Colts and you're trying to cope with it.
Well, no, because secondly, as well, Sam Darnold is second in the league for most first read throws.
Well, that's because JSN's always open.
Touche.
I mean, you can't really look at it as a negative. JSN's the number one receiver.
JSN's always the read, man.
He's also not always open, by the way. It's Sam putting it where the ball needs to go.
Yeah. Sam is a dog. Indeed. Damn, dude.
I miss that man, bro.
Well, the trade deadline is upon us, man. Colby, I'm 46 too. This is my family's coat of arms. Colby, come on.
You're 46, man. You're 46 and you're taking personal shots at a 24-year-old. That's crazy. You should work on that.
Oh, come on, man. It's all love in here. It's all love in here, guys. Come on. Pat, y'all ready to play a real opponent Sunday? Go Bucks. Hell yeah.
I mean, we've
games are about. The crew, baby. I'm on board. I'm on that board, baby. We the crew, baby.
And so we have played real opponents. I know we have an easier
Dan's
schedule,
got a Baker Mayfield jersey on the way to
By the way, Dan, everybody trying to discredit the Patriots beating the Panthers. They just beat the Packers. They're over 500 also. By the way, Dan, we beat them with their starting quarterback. And I know a few weeks ago you said that he didn't make a difference. I hope that you look
Bryce
back
Young's
at
been
that
averaging 130 yards a game.
Difference.
Like, let's not pretend that it would have been much different with Bryce Young.
The yards aren't ultimately the difference, though, on Bryce Young making the difference.
It's the same thing. And Bryce is a first-rate merchant, too. I'm not concerned about that.
When you have Andy Dalton back there, you're forced to run the football. It makes offenses one-dimensional. I mean, I'm not saying Bryce Young is an elite quarterback, but I'm saying that he does make a difference to that team's success. It's obvious. Look at how it translates into wins.
I guarantee you Bryce Young would have played no difference. Dan, I've been following you for a minute and respect your takes. It was about time I show some love to you fellas. Just going to need you to clap back harder on these BS Colby and TD takes on my behalf. Dude, you know what? Like I've been working with TD.
What's the BS takes?
So I've been working with TD for about like 5-6 years at this point, and me and Colby have just turned into ops, right? Like we were friends for a while back when his team was,
and so we're still friends. Dan.
Hot garbage.
It's the Buffalo fans that have turned me into an op with the coping after that loss. If you just gave the Patriots the respect, I'd be chilling. But it's trying to find the demise on the Patriots and trying to find excuses on why New England isn't good that I'm losing respect for Buffalo.
But my boy came in and said that I need to clap back harder on TD and Colby. Normally my like situation has been because like when I first started, I was definitely a lot more aggressive. But then after a while, I learned that my team always ends up winning in the end as far as the narrative game of the AFC East. So I just stay quiet, right? Because I know that the smirk is going to be back and I'm just going to be sitting on my high horse the entire time. But I mean, we'll see. Hey, man.
So, Dan, you're saying that you're going off of history, correct? Like, this is what history tells you? And so then, so if history's right, y'all get bounced in the playoffs again? Just going off of history. Just going off of history, of course.
Not by one of y'all. Yeah, not by one of y'all.
We'll see, Dan.
That's for damn sure.
Better hope you don't see those damn Patriots.
Dan just described the Pats defense, elite run stoppers with elite coverage guys. So the thing is too, and something that like you need to play a factor in, this Buffalo Bills team is not going to be drawing 11 penalties each and every single game either.
Better hope not.
They earn those penalties against the Patriots, but you would be completely delusional if you would not admit that those penalties played a role into the Patriots winning that game. I think Colby could even agree to that.
I'm sorry, say it again. I kind of dodged out there for a second.
I said that while all of the penalties were deserved from Buffalo during the Bills and the New England Patriots game, like no like trash calls, and they were all earned, that played a role into you guys winning the game.
Yeah, but I mean, I could also say if the Patriots didn't have 8 penalties, that we could have won the game more confidently.
What I'm saying is, so when you look at a team that averages well over 30 points each and every single game, they have 11 penalties, and that turns into 23. That plays a factor. Let's see what it looks like in Foxborough.
Yeah, no, certainly.
Let's see what it looks like in Foxborough. Who's Josh Allen's first read? I will wait. The best tight end in the NFL, Dalton Kincaid. We are all we got.
You better step up in the playoffs, Dan, because that drop pass last year, I remember.
We are all.
That was rough.
Dude, he was playing at a bum knee.
Oh, bum knee. Sorry.
We are all we
didn't realize
got.
The knee impacts the hands. Sorry.
It does, brother.
All we got.
It does, brother.
Need, baby.
No. With Josh Allen did not shift his protection appropriately on that playoff drive either.
Well, that's Josh's fault. Then be better, Josh, Mr. MVP.
No,
be
but
better,
come on,
Mr.
Kincaid should have caught
MVP.
that.
Be
Kincaid
better.
should've
We're
caught
starving.
that.
We're starving over here. All right. Let's transition over to the Browns and the Jets. I want to talk about the Browns and the Jets.
Oh, man, you really want to talk about this?
Well, it's always fun to get it out of the way, to be honest with you.
You're intrigued by this game, man, Mitchell. You're intrigued.
Folks, first off, we do need to give a giant shout out to one of our proud partners today, and that just so happens to be Sleeper. Folks, Sleeper is the #1 player prop platform on the face of the planet. Very simple process. You cook your parlays up with as many players as you'd like, and as long as you accurately predict all of their projections, either above or below, you could see winnings of up to 1,000x your play. Signing up, you get a free $20. All right, it's the best promo in the game as we speak. And then say that you do decide to put down a deposit. They are matching 100% of that all the way up to $100. Maybe you want to be ballsy and make a parlay for this Jets and Browns game. I mean, if you could hit on that, my friend, because it's virtually unpredictable at this point, you truly would know ball. Shout out to Sleeper for being a proud partner of this show, and go on ahead and take advantage of that free $20 by signing up and using our code RTS. Shout out to Sleeper. We appreciate that. And send us your parlays on X, man. And so we want to see if you fools know ball.
I know ball. I know that. So the New York Jets are hosting the Cleveland Browns, fresh off of a bye week, fresh off of trading away their two best players on the defensive side of the ball. This is going to be a wake-up call for the Jets offense because we went up against the worst defense in the NFL in the Cincinnati Bengals. They broke out 500 yards of offense. Justin Fields had a great game. The run game was working. We looked fantastic, but now we're not taking on the worst defense in football anymore. We're taking on a great defense. So I think the offense is going to very much struggle in this matchup. The key is going to be keeping it on the ground with Breece Hall. I don't know if we're going to see A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie, our new wide receivers, get a lot of action early on in this game. I think it's going to be they're going to work their way into this offense slowly and surely. It's going to be an ugly game. I really do think this is going to be an ugly game. They should flex at the prime time because it's going to be entertaining because who doesn't love defensive football between a 1-win and a 2-win football team? But the fun thing about this game is the Jets were finally favorites. Their first time being favorites in a game. But then we traded away Sauce and Quinnen, and now we're no longer the favorites. So the odds flipped on its head immediately after the Jets made those trades from Sauce and Quinnen. I'm excited, man. The Jets are in evaluation mode. Who are the guys that are going to step up? And our Jets fans rooting for wins, they better. I mean, I absolutely am. I want to go out there and win this football game. I'm not looking at the draft. I'm like, oh, we got to get a number 1 overall pick. Like, I want the back end of this football team to get the back end of the season for this football team to string together some wins. And, like, I know I'm looking ahead right now, but I feel like the Jets fan base, and this is a big hypothetical, if the Jets beat the Browns and upset those Patriots on Thursday Night Football and we get back-to-back wins after the bye, hey, bro, I'm going to say there's going to be a different tone from Jets fans around Aaron Glenn. Now, I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying if that did happen, I think that would be absolutely massive. So it's going to be interesting to see what this Jets team looks like. Dylan Gabriel and that Browns offense is putrid. How is this defense going to look without Sauce, even though we did not have him last week? How they're going to look without Quinnen is going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to be watching. So I expect the Jets to be competitive, and I have them winning 21-17.
Wow.
Game of the week, baby. The game of the week. Winning streak, 2 in a row. And then we keep going. We string together some dubs. Let's go, bro. I'm excited. And then no one sees the Jets coming. The Patriots are just going to walk into that game like, oh, the Jets, bro. They suck. Bang! Upset. Woo! Cooking with.
Hey, that's a short weekend. You on the road, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland, the Believeland Browns, dude. Well, I'll tell you what. Say that Cleveland is looking for a game to get some belief in their young rookie Dylan Gabriel. It's going to be this one. All right. Right now, especially with all of the Jets' defensive struggles, missing out on a corner like Sauce, missing out, of course, on Quinnen Williams. I think that there's going to be some growing pains. It's going to be ugly, but I do think that Dylan Gabriel is going to have the best game that he has had as a pro. Like this year, I think that there are a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage of. I think the run game is going to get going with Quinshon Judkins as well. Like missing out on Quinnen is awful for your run defense. I don't know. 24-14. I think Browns.
What?
24-14 Browns. I mean, dude, like you did all that. Like you did all that. And I get that you'll never root for a loss or you'll never root to tank, but tanking's the move right now, Rich. Like tanking's the move.
I want to start winning for Aaron Glenn, bro. Screw the tank.
We got all talking about objectively. Tanking's the move right now.
Why? So a better draft pick is better than building a winning culture?
I mean, why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean?
Because I want Aaron Glenn to prove that he knows what he's doing and coach up these guys and build a winning culture. I prefer to establish a winning identity after the bye than just lose, and then we have a better draft pick when this draft class sucks. That's why I look at it. Because a first overall pick, second overall pick is not going to be the savior. I rather honestly get, like, there's 9 games left. I want a winning record. Not going to happen, but I want it.
Nope.
I'm rooting for it. I want to see Aaron Glenn go out there and say, you know what? I learned the first 8 weeks were brutal. I got 0-7 record. I won a game, and now I want that win to start breaking through and start establishing some winning mindset. That's my mindset, at least.
That's what a real fan believes in, Rich. Get them wins.
Wins matter, bro, at the end of the season, man. There's 9 games left. Like, do you think going into the draft, the Jets are 1-16 or say 2-15 with the first overall pick? Like, I know it's possible still, but I don't know. I think the Jets finish with 5 or 6 wins. That would feel a little bit better. Then
it's going to be hard to get people to want to play for the Jets, even if you have a lot of cap space. There's a lot of players that will say, I'll take a couple less $1 million to go play for a team that at least gives me a fighting chance, because the New York Jets, they don't have an answer at quarterback. They don't, they don't have a winning culture. They're not an established team with their coaching staff and their front office right now. It's great that you went out there and you're trying to strive for those things by getting draft picks. But when free agents look at the New York Jets, this still is not a place that they're going to want to play in. And so, yeah, I agree with Rich. You want to win as many games as you can and show something at the end of the season. So hopefully this is a place that people say, it could be worse. I guess I could go there.
I agree, brother.
That's the best you can.
My man. That's my man, bro. Go out there, win some games, AG. That's all I can say. Go out there, win some games.
Love it, Rich.
Interesting.
Win some games.
Woo! Browns have been struggling stopping the run too, though.
Brees Hall legacy.
Has that been lately, Dan? Because they were a top 3 unit.
Yeah.
Give him 50 carries.
Let me double check. Yeah. Right now it's Cleveland, Las Vegas, Denver. Yeah. Wait, hold up. Yeah.
Because wow, Cleveland a few weeks ago was like dominant against the run.
Yeah. They've been struggling a tad. What do you got, Colby? The Browns or the Jets? What do you got?
Look, I'm taking Cleveland in this one. It's really interesting, this Cleveland team, because they're the 32nd ranked offense, but they're the number 1 ranked defense. That pass rush is absolutely legit. Myles Garrett is an absolute dog. He's going to play all over the offensive formation, so don't think he's just going to line up over your left tackle. He's going to line up over the left. He's going to line up over the right. He's going to line up in the interior. They're going to find his mismatches, and he is going to wreak havoc. That linebacker core for Cleveland is also insane, led to by Carson Schlesinger. He's an absolute baller. He's had a really good start to his rookie season. And then that secondary, obviously, they got some really, really good pieces there, too. And so I just think that this is going to be a big, big struggle for the New York Jets, who just don't really have a whole lot of offensive firepower. I think this is going to be a really, really difficult game for Justin Fields. That pressure is going to be on the back of his heels the entire time. I just feel like the offense is going to be pretty inept for the Jets. And I think that can go pound for pound with the offense that we're going to see for the Cleveland Browns. Now, Dylan Gabriel's not a great quarterback. The New York Jets defense has gotten things going over the last few weeks, but now you're trading 2 of your star players. Now you're trading a guy in your pass rush department in Quinnen Williams. Now you're trading a guy in your secondary in Sauce Gardner. So I do think that there's going to be kind of this scramble for the New York Jets to try to figure things out for the rest of the season. I just trust kind of the more consistency and the continuity of the Cleveland Browns in this game. So give me the Browns.
Give you the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns, man.
Well, that's what I like. The world doubting this Jets football team, man. What do you know about Myles Garrett? Come on, bring it on, Myles.
He had 5 sacks against us. Trust me, I know a little bit too much more than I would like to say.
Hey, man, if the Jets contain, I'll say this, bro. It's not going to be easy, but if the Jets somehow contain and limit Myles Garrett, I'm going to be very impressed with this offensive line.
Yeah, I feel like if Myles Garrett doesn't do anything against you, but somebody else eats, you kind of just tip your cap.
Yeah, man. I mean, Armand Membo in his rookie debut dominated against TJ Watt. TJ Watt's not as good as Myles Garrett, but it's crazy.
Myles Garrett's also one of the best to ever do it. So if he does wreak havoc, again, he's one of the best all time. So you know what I'm saying?
Can't really be too mad. Can't get too mad, Dan Mitchell.
You can't get too mad.
Can't get too mad, brother. Not doing it.
Well,
not doing it.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Guys, let us know your thoughts about the Jets and the Browns game. Who do you got winning? Let us know right now. We appreciate you guys absolutely big time for tuning in to this episode of You Know It, the AFC East Roundtable. All right. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you guys enjoying the content here, as always, and subscribe, share with your friends, with your family members about the show so we can get it all ready to go, man. That's what it is all about. What do you think? What do you feel about that? All right. Well, I got something for you guys.
I love it.
Brunt, baby.
Dan,
Go get those boots, Dan Mitchell, because you guys know about Brunt. All right. It is an absolute fantastic piece of workwear. Show those off for us, Dan. Look at those. Those are worn in.
Look at these beauties right here. You know what, folks?
It's
very difficult to find the perfect balance in a work boot between durability and comfortability. Brunt, has figured that out, my friend. I have several buddies that are in the blue collar industry. And as soon as when I told them that we were partnering with this company, like they're like, oh, dude, like I've been wearing these things for years. The blessings all across from its durability and the comfortability, guys. If you are looking for a new work boot, you got to try out Brunt Workwear. It's beautiful. Love these guys.
Yeah, guys, the link right now is pinned at the top of the chat. Also in the description, use our code AFC East and you get $10 off. I wore them multiple times since they sent it to me, and I have been very pleased with the comfort, with the style, everything about it. And if you guys want to go support this Roundtable show, a great way to do that is by supporting the sponsors. And Brunt Workwear is a proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports. So make sure you guys go check them out. The link is in the description. I mean, look how clean they are, man. Blue collar. What more can you ask for in a work boot? Brunt Workwear, man. They also got great hoodies. They got a lot of fun stuff on their website. And one of my favorite things about them is definitely their, the Omen boots, the lightweight, water resistant, slip, oil resistant. I mean, they got basically everything about it. All right. Brunt's best-selling Marin work boots are also not only built for the toughest job sites, they're completely waterproof. All right. So the waterproof is huge because when it's raining out, you can go out there and absolutely do your thing. So with temps dropping and the holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts and get them something built to last. Brunt Workwear. Our listeners get $10 off their entire order with code AFC East at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com and use code AFC East. Order today and let them know you heard it here on the show. So big shout out to Brunt. It's a great Christmas gift or holiday gift for anybody. If you want to get it for your brother, your cousin, your father, yourself is
man
also
in your
a great
life.
present. Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, there you go, Rich.
Your father?
Your father? So check them out.
Shout out to Brunt, man. Shout out to Brunt.
Great.
All right, man. How about we open up this Patreon caller hotline?
Hey.
Listen.
What's up, bro?
What up, man?
Okay.
What do you
I
got to
just
say to us,
wanted to
LaSalle,
say-
my man?
I just wanted to say I agree about us getting a veteran quarterback when it comes to the draft, but I have one bottom line. No first round pick for those quarterbacks, though. Unless it's Joe Burrow, no first round pick given up. If we give a first for Dak Prescott or a Kyler Murray especially, I'm not going to be happy about that. I'm not going to be happy. Also, one last thing. DF Forever is saying in the chat that he has something for you, Kobe. He has something for you. Just letting you know.
Whoa,
DF has
LaSalle
something for
warning
me?
him. Well, LaSalle,
Has
That's good to
something
hear.
for me. Hope it's an
Well, let's
early
hear it.
Christmas gift.
Dwayne is live next. DF Forever has
What's
something
up,
for you.
guys? How you doing?
What's up, Santa?
What up, man?
You got something for
I'm
me?
gonna come in and defend TD and Miami fans just a little bit about the trade deadline, and help TD out a little bit, and then I'll finish off with Colby because that's the easy stuff. Basically, it's just this simple. You don't have a regular GM in Miami. You have a sit-in GM in Miami. And basically, you have everybody around him that's saying, don't overpay. Jets hit the market on the deadline date, and they got all these huge draft picks for what they wanted. But the other teams didn't want to spend like that. So they didn't want to overpay. Other teams didn't want to overpay for a Waddle, and that's that. Colby, you know I've always, for the most part, been hyped up about your team. Again, congratulations where they are at. You know I am not that Bills fan.
You are not.
No, I love your little smirk things you put in there, like easy schedule. I know we've talked about this. That's cute. You're getting cute with that.
Yeah, we've talked about
But you're not the schoolyard bully yet, sir.
No, not yet.
You're not at that point of where your team is at. But I just want to end this with one last thing. 4 times this show, you have said, I'm not scared. But there's this old saying about schoolyard bullies. They never are scared till they get beat. With respect and love, DF forever. I'm out of here.
Shout out DF, man. Look, I'm just saying the Buffalo Bills are the same every single year. And so I know who they are as an organization. I know their strengths. I know their weaknesses. When I say I'm not scared of Buffalo, I'm not saying there's no way that the Patriots lose that game. Even if the Patriots do lose against Buffalo in New England, I'm still not, quote, scared of Buffalo because I know who they are as an organization. And even if we split, Dan, Patriots can't say that they're better than the Bills, and Bills can't say they're better than the Patriots because at the end of the day, we have the same record against each other. We split. I just like how the New England Patriots stack up against the Buffalo Bills because it's proven that if you take away the run game, which the Patriots haven't allowed a running back to go for 50 or more yards this season, James Cook early on this season, Bijan Robinson just last week, if you can take away the run game, force Josh Allen to beat you through the air and put pressure on him, now he starts to turn the football over and he looks like a different quarterback. I just like how they stack against the Bills. That's all. We saw that earlier on this season.
And that's how division teams should be built, man. You build your teams to compete within your division.
Yes, sir.
That's how you do it.
That's what Mike Vrabel said. One of the first things he said we want to do is compete for the division. And the Patriots are undefeated in the division right now.
Wow. I don't know. You got them Jets coming up, though, brother.
Here we go. Nah, you hopping on that.
I'm just kidding, man.
And I'll send you over that jersey for Thursday night.
I mean, I'm not sure if I would take it, man, because they'd probably be shipped off for a 7th-round pick next offseason.
Hey, we don't ship off stuff for nothing. We only ask for firsts.
Let's talk about it. All right. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins game, huh? Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. All right. We've seen this movie before, right? Like we've seen this movie before. They have a lame duck head coach at this point. I could go up and I could tell you about all of their weaknesses. I think Buffalo should actually fairly easily win this game. I know that the one in Buffalo was a bit closer than initially anticipated, but I feel like Buffalo has finally figured out their new 2025 identity. Struggling run defense over in Miami. Same thing with losing Jalen Phillips. Not ideal. I think there's a lot of mismatches all across the board, particularly for Khalil Shakir. I think Dalton Kincaid will continue his dominance, especially since Miami struggles, particularly inside of the numbers. Linebackers are awful in coverage. Something that is annoying, it does look like James Cook was on the injury report today as a did not participate with a foot/ankle injury. I don't remember seeing him aggravate it during the Chiefs game. I could have been wrong. But if there is any game where I would be okay with James Cook not being able to play, it would be okay, or it would be fine for me against this Miami Dolphins team. Struggles against the run, struggle really everywhere defensively. And this Buffalo Bills team is very familiar with how this team is ran. As far as offensively, like we've seen Tua, he's been a turnover machine so far this year. I suppose Waddle may go on ahead and present some sort of challenges for us here and there. Maybe Achane busts off a couple of runs, although that Buffalo's defense has looked a hell of a lot better against the run after the bye. In fact, we have been top 4 in the league for the past 2 games in stopping the run, which is certainly a breath of fresh air. I'm very excited to see what Maxwell Harrison does against another speedy receiver in Jalen Waddle on Sunday. I'm just hoping for no injuries, man. Like that's really what I'm looking for. I expect to win this game. I expect to win this game big. Give me Buffalo Bills 33, Miami Dolphins 17.
Bold take.
Bold take.
Hot take. Crazy, bro.
I mean, is it a hot take?
Yeah.
I mean,
those Miami Dolphins are playing for something, man. They're playing for pride.
They're playing for something.
All right, Colby. What's your thoughts, man? Big Miami Dolphins fan this Sunday.
I'm not bought into the Buffalo Bills run defense just yet. It's been 2
coming in with hate right away.
It's not even hate. It's just a fact. I mean, Dan,
it's not even hate. It's just a fact.
Dan, last week it's not hate if it's a fact. Dan, going into KC, you said that you weren't scared of Kareem Hunt, but now you're kind of bumping your chest that you guys stopped Kareem. Okay, Rich, wait, hold on, hit it, Rich. Okay, I like that. But you said you weren't scared of Kareem Hunt. And now I think we're kind of jumping on the fact that, hey, we stopped Kareem Hunt. The week prior, they had gotten in the Carolina Panthers, they had gotten back Chuba Hubbard, and they didn't really understand the split backfield, and that's why they said Chuba Hubbard can't be a split back guy. He needs to be number 2. We need to be running Rico Dowdle more, and that's when they started to kind of thrive a little bit more. And so, again, I'm not taking anything away from the Buffalo Bills. I think if they can do it this week against A-Chain, I think that's when we start talking about, okay, this is where Buffalo's run defense is really turning over. Last 2 weeks, it just really hasn't been a true battle for me enough to say, okay, you face top-end true, running back talent to be able to feel confident that you are making this turnover against the run. And so I don't necessarily want to say they're going to do that against Miami. We saw that Miami kept the game close a few weeks ago when they played at the event that we were at in Buffalo. This one's going to be at Miami. They have home field advantage. It is tough to play in Miami. Now, I say all this, don't get me wrong. The Buffalo Bills are going to win this game, but I think it's going to be closer than people are going to give it credit for. I think Tua is going to turn the football over again. I think the turnovers are going to be the difference in this game. Give me the Buffalo Bills 27 and the Miami Dolphins 24. 27-24. Buffalo wins. And Dan, a win is a win at the end of the day. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I mean, it was a close game last time, right? It was a game that came down to the wire.
So the run defense, theoretically, at the beginning of the season.
Let me hear the EPA.
Dan loves his new site, man. Getting your money's worth.
Let me hear. I look at Madden
it's
ratings.
Intellectual takes, man. I'm sorry that I'm sitting here looking at intellectual data to tell you what
you don't look at Madden ratings. I don't trust.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Madden ratings aren't a part of my analysis, okay? But no, how you look at the Buffalo Bills defense was a tackling issue. So when you see explosive runs, that's a tackling issue. That is not a run defense issue. That is a tackling issue. Since Taylor Rapp has been put on the IR, he's been the biggest liability of that. That dude cannot tackle to save his life. You put in Jordan Hancock, who has been a wonderful tackler for us. Same thing with Maxwell Harrison. Same thing with Larry Ogunjobi, who has come back. You end up shifting over personnel and watching McDermott take over play calling responsibilities on the defense. Like, you've noticed a shift. The big thing Buffalo needed to do was tackle, and they have significantly improved in that metric by itself, and it goes into personnel. So I am very confident that will continue. And as long as Buffalo can be more consistent than what they were at the beginning of the year with tackling, I think the days of sort of us allowing more than 5 explosive runs each and every single game are far behind us. So that's what
I would say. Just be cautiously optimistic. That would kind of be like Patriots fans bumping their chest that maybe, like, if we didn't play Buffalo and we didn't play, Carolina and win those games, then I think if we were just like, oh, we beat Tennessee, we beat the Browns, and those were like the only games we're bumping our chest about, we beat Miami, then you guys would come back and be like, well, let's see it against good competition. We did it against good competition. I think now that's my thing for Buffalo. You've taken the steps over the last 2 weeks. Now play a team with a good running back and a good rushing attack. And if you can do it then I think you feel confident about where Buffalo's at. And this is going to be a real test this week.
So I think it goes schematically as well, right? Because so the Chiefs' second leading rusher was Patrick Mahomes. Like, dude was going out and like he was rushing for like close to like 40, 50 yards per game. And we held them to 5. So like that also plays in the fact of like run fits and stuff like that. So show me that you could do it consistently. But then again, we don't have another Derrick Henry or Bijan Robinson on our schedule for the rest of the year. So who knows?
You got Saquon.
Yeah, we got Saquon. I suppose
that'll be a big test.
Oh, that'll be a test, but it's a while. Like maybe Chase Brown.
You haven't played Tampa yet. So if Bucky Irving plays, there's another one.
He's probably not playing. He's probably not playing.
You don't think he's going to play that game?
This weekend, I know that.
This weekend, yeah. No, probably not.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. What about you, Rich?
Bills, Fins, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we went into this game during the event with the mindset of it being a massacre. It ended up not being a massacre. It was a very close game. But, Miami is on the road in this one. So I feel like, what do you mean, Richie? They're in Miami. They're still
at home.
No, they're not. They don't have a home field advantage.
Oh, you're right.
They don't.
You're right.
Did you see the crowd?
Yeah, dude.
Their last.
They indeed do. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yes.
Yeah.
And so Miami does not have a home game.
You're going to tell me
ever.
that there's not going to be more Bills fans in this game than Dolphins fans.
And there will be, for sure.
I feel like 60% Bills, 40% Dolphins. For the people saying it's in Miami, I am totally aware. My point is, even Miami Dolphins, quote unquote, home games in Miami are road games because Dolphins fans do not show up. And I don't know why they would. They don't really have a product to be proud of. And they don't really have a direction, a clear direction. And I think that the Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. It may not be a massacre. It may not be like a 40-3 type of game. I feel like it'll be relatively good. I think James Cook is just going to have one of those games where you can't stop him. He's going to have one of those 152 touchdowns, and Josh Allen's not going to have to do much. He's going to hand the ball off, make some big plays on third down, and Tua's going to have a big throw over the middle to Jalen Waddle, and then he's going to throw a pick, and then it's just going to be a bad game from Miami. They're going to fumble. They're going to turn the ball over. They're going to do usually what they do. Give me the Buffalo Bills winning 31-20.
31-20. 11 points. 11 points.
An 11 point. What's the spread on this bad boy right now?
I mean,
it's just
those
in-division games, man. Those in-division games doesn't matter numbers on numbers. It doesn't matter strength to weakness. Like those in-division games, anything can happen, man.
So the Bills, so you're saying that anything could happen with the Jets and the Patriots game coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it's an in-division game. Anything can happen.
Oh, man, I'll try to bait you. Right now, the Bills and the Dolphins, the Bills are -9.5 favorites.
The Jets are going on a 3-game winning streak. We already got one. Win Sunday, win Thursday, and then we're running the table. 10-7, making playoffs. Book it! Oh, the delusion feels good. All it takes is one win and some few trades to get me back.
At least you got those mock drafts, Rich. You got those mock drafts, man. Those
I had to do a mock draft for Bleach Report today. I'm like,
you
really?
got another one coming up, baby, 2027.
I got to do a 2027 mock draft tomorrow. I don't even know. How do I do that?
Do your research. Dude, just have Dose of Dion on. You'll be good.
I got to reach out to Dose, man. Be like, yo, tell me about this 2027 class because what? He's
going to be like,
I got to talk about. What do you mean I got to talk about the
reach out to Broshmo. Reach out to Broshmo. He would know.
Yeah, I should. Well, seems like we're all picking the Bills. TD, who do you got in this game? Nice. Thank you, TD. All right. Well,
the Dolphins about to smoke the Buffalo Bills.
Man, I don't know what TD's up to these days. I don't know what. But let's get into some super chats before we get into the Patriots game. Dan just described the Pats defense. Elite. We already read that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dolphins are going to be okay in the long term. Glad they didn't just give away players. See you guys soon in fantasy, fellas. Fins up no matter what.
I've given up in fantasy. So
hey, you know what? That reminds me, Dan Mitchell. Ooh, you didn't know what Dan Mitchell. Oh, Dan's looking like, come on, Richie.
Dude, I know, man. I had to go on ahead and hit.
Don't run the victory lap on me, Richie. Oh, but I got to, bro. You kidding me? Dan was confident. Dan's like, I got Richie when he's got all of his players in the bye. And I'm like, Dan Mitchell, don't you worry, because I am team adjustments. Even when my teams are on buys, I find the people on the waiver wire and I come out and dominate. What did I do? Colby? What do you think I did? I went out there and freaking dominated. All right. Look at this. I scored the most points and your boy's in first place. Let me win somewhere. All right. The Jets don't win. So let me gloat somewhere. This was our matchup. 171 points, the most points scored in the entire league, even when I had all my people in my buy. Shout out to Sam Darnold. I just picked him up. Shout out to Drake London, Rasheed Rice, Sam Laporta. Dan Mitchell, you're very, very confident. You saw that you were projected to win this game. So you're like, your thoughts, man.
To win, dude. And you know what? With Evan Engram, has been an absolute disappointment. He has been since released from my team. He's been released for taking the dead cap hit. And I ultimately ended up bringing in Juwan Johnson from the Saints tight end for a replacement. We've been making some moves over in the Kirkham-sized Penix camp, bro. We've been making some moves.
Hey, bro.
Wouldn't it be Penix?
I've been making some moves too.
And the
TD also
Penix
loses. So TD drops to 5-4, man. Here are the standings on the Roundtable Sports Fantasy Football League. You got your boy at the top alone. It's really lonely at the top, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yo, where am I at?
JD.
Yeah, where am
Really
I at?
lonely at the top, sitting at 8-1. Are you kidding me? I wish I was able to be 8-1 in all my other leagues, but I guess the this one 8-1.
It's just
your boy
the free
is,
one. It's just
yeah,
the free
like
one.
the
Who did that
the
one loss
league,
come
there's-
to, Richie?
The one league that there's no money involved, I'm dominating. That's just great stuff there. I think
Richie,
my
who did that
loss
one loss
was
come
to you, Colby. You can't give up,
Yep,
bro.
It was. And then all my team got injured after that.
So
hey,
what?
Colby, why you giving up your 4 and 5? You still got a shot, brother.
Because
We
like
need
my
you to make
entire
some
team got
adjustments.
injured. There's like nobody on the waiver wire either right
well,
now.
hit that, yo,
Yeah,
bro,
there
hit
is,
that
dude.
waiver, man. Hit that, dude.
Trust
hit that
me, bro,
waiver.
my
I just
entire
picked up
team-
Christian Watson,
Dude,
Yeah,
my
I picked
entire
up-
team had their bye week this week. I went to the waiver wire. I made some adjustments, and I scored 170 points. All right, so anything is possible. Anything is possible. But I'm glitching out right here. I'm trying to get back to the standings, see where Dan is at.
Yeah, where's
Dan Mitchell, league.
Where's Dan
All right,
Mitchell?
so we got
Fifth
Nim
place.
Laster Learning Lane in second at 6-3. We got three-way tie, DD and
God.
JD. So Dan Mitchell and TD Finstock, I think, are on a losing streak. They got 3 people jumping ahead of them. So you are 5-4 in the 5th seed.
So I got JD this week.
Ooh, that's a big game.
And you know what? I think I'm shopping around Jared Goff right now, too. He's not getting it done for me.
Shouldn't have let me get
Except
Sam
for the trade
Darnold on the waiver
deadline's
wire,
over
bro.
with.
Should have let me get Sam on the waiver wire, dude. Is the trade deadline passed?
Yeah, I believe in fantasy football. I could go Dylan Gabriel against that Jets defense, though. I think that might be a play. I think that might be.
Take
no.
any tight end. Take any tight end this week for Cleveland.
What do you mean, bro? We got Jarvis Brownlee. Locking
Those
that,
times equal
strapping
Cleveland.
it up. Let's get some Patreon callers before we get into the last game of the week. Let's get into Izzy's up next. What up, Izzy?
What up, man? How you doing?
What up,
We're
man?
doing great, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, happy with how the Bills are doing now. The defense is looking a lot better, and that's a good thing. I think that the input of Jordan Poyer there, even though physically he's not who he used to be, his ability to put people in the right places and to teach is really coming in. Max Hairston playing very well. I noticed something when Taylor Rapp was in, and this goes back to what Dan was saying about Taylor Rapp. If you look at PFF, which I'm not talking about like the actual grading system, but I kind of am at the same time. If you look at the Bills lineup when Taylor Rapp was in there, the entire right side of that field when he was in, other than the defensive line, was playing god awful. They were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a safety they could count on, and it was just not good. Insert Jordan Poyer. Not only has the right side of the defense improved the last 2 weeks, but also the other safety, Cole Bishop, has started to get better. He's got a teacher there who knows the scheme, knows the way that this thing is supposed to look, where everybody's supposed to be, and he's helped put Cole Bishop in places to succeed, like the last game against the Chiefs, stopping Travis Kelce, stopping Rashee Rice in the end zone, stopping, passes. He had 4 defended passes this last game. It was his best game of the year. When you have a competent, maybe you're not physically able to the extent that you would expect from a starting NFL safety, but somebody who knows how to put you where you need to be, that kid has been playing lights out since then, and I think that everybody here would agree with that.
Well,
Also-
Dan Mitchell, what's your thoughts?
Cole Bishop has been a dog. Cole Bishop has been a dog, man.
What's
He's
his
definitely
EPA?
been hitting. And so with Izzy's definitely onto something, dude. So I think a lot of it has to do with chemistry. And so, like, who's your running mate, right? And like with Poyer being out there for some odd reason, and so you have to look at it as the common denominator, because we saw Cole have the game of his life last week against Kansas City. Like, he's finally looking like a second-round pick. Maybe it has something to do with Sean McDermott calling plays too. Don't particularly know, but I'm feeling it.
All right. We'll see. The next man up is JT. JT's like in and out. JT.
What up, JT?
No, you got to rejoin. We're going to go to Andy's up next. Andy Johnson. What up, Andy?
What's up, Andy?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Been a little busy lately. I haven't been able to get on here as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, no problem. What up?
Damn, TD went away from you.
I see nothing's changed. TD's still hiding.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Still hot, man.
I'm still here, even though we're in the basement.
Don't even get me started on you.
Start with me. What you guys say, Andy?
The New Jersey Jokes. That's what your team should be reading.
The Toronto Jills.
We actually play in New York.
You play in Orchard Park, not Buffalo.
Which is still in New York. You play in a different state.
You support
and your team
Canadian
is a joke.
teams.
You've done the same shit for the last 14 years, and ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing gonna change.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
the
well,
fucking
baby.
New Jersey Jokes.
Yeah,
Take
well,
all
baby.
those draft picks, get them again, so you can trade them again in another 5 years.
Hey,
get more draft
those are
picks to
previous
trade 'em
people that
again.
did that. This regime didn't do those things. Come on, now. give them the
Nothing's
chance.
changed. Nothing's changed. And nothing's gonna change.
New
You're
people
gonna be
in
at the
charge.
bottom of the division forever.
Nah, bro. We
The
got to
New
tear it
Jersey
down before we
Jokes.
build it up.
Yeah, you said that. You said that 5 years ago too.
Well, enjoy
New
your
Jersey Jokes.
enjoy your inaugural playoff bounce in the division
Hey,
around
At
this
least
year,
we make
Andy.
the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's fun until you can't do anything with it.
Hey.
I'm sorry. When have you done anything? Oh yes, 65 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, at least, we're undefeated in the Super Bowl. Never lost, actually. The Jets have never lost.
It doesn't matter when you only get there one time.
Oh, it does.
Shout
I'd
out to
rather get
Andy.
there once and win than get there 4 times and lose all 4. I don't know.
Shout
about
out to Andy. And first off, all right,
Just saying.
it rotates on when we get bounced, my friend.
Oh, yeah,
It
sorry,
But you always
Andy.
end
rotates
up getting
between the AFC Championship and the divisional. All right,
You know what,
wherever
Dan?
the
I think there's
peaks
a
are.
chance this year. Like we said, there's a chance you get bounced in the Super Bowl this year. That would be progress.
I'd rather not make it.
Hey, man, that's progress, though. You could get bounced, but in the Super Bowl. And it would be off of like a crazy, like you're right there, too.
That's
it's
the
like,
biggest gut
It's like
wrencher, though.
27-20. You're down 27-25, and Matt Prater has a chance to win it at the end, a 35
Wide
chip
right.
shot, and he wide rights it.
Oh, dude. No.
It's like, dude, can you imagine what's going through Dan Mitchell's head? Watching 2 seconds on the clock, you're down 2 points, and Matt Prater is about to win the Super Bowl with a chip shot. Like, what would be going through your mind in those 15 seconds? Would you be able to, while he's like about,
I feel like
they
you would
iced
be
the
staring
kicker,
at your TV
they
screen
iced
the
the
rest of
kicker,
the night.
bro, and then that timeout, bro. What would you? Oh God, I'm like stressed out thinking about that, even though it's not.
Dan came and talk about it.
I'm rising Dan's blood pressure. Just giving him a hypothetical.
I'm checking my pulse. It's healthy.
He's gonna tell you to knock on wood
man.
in a second.
You gotta love it.
Thanks, bro.
All right, let's get into some more callers. We got my boy JT. JT, you hear me?
What up,
Yeah,
JT?
you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
Yes,
I
sir.
see you backstage,
All right,
JT.
cool.
I
I
see
checked
you.
the noti and the app started freaking out. It wasn't putting me in studio, but I can hear you guys every time I entered. It would just lag.
I don't
it's
know,
weird.
man. It's probably because you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'll
JT.
restart it
Because
again.
you're what?
Anyway, yo, Muji cooked, man. Holy, dude. I was the same way as you, man. I was just complete shock at first, followed by just like, once I found out the compensation, I'm like, holy, like, obvious. It's obvious why he got rid of him. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to build this team, and that's the best way to build this team is through the draft, or like you and Colby said earlier, trade, make a splash trade. I mean, you can even move up in the draft for that. Like, there's so much things you can do with all the draft capital we just gained. And AD Mitchell is definitely something huge, too, that we gained as well. Like, that shouldn't be slept on either. Because we're weak at wide receiver. That's what we've been saying for a while. And they addressed that, man. Muji is off to an incredible start as GM of the Jets. Hopefully it continues.
He knows how to extract value, JT. So now we just got to hope they hit on those draft picks. Thank you for the call, man. And yeah, listen, with the AD Mitchell situation, he's got to go out there and prove it before I really get hyped up about him, because he was not productive with Indianapolis. But I remember the hype out of Texas, and he's got to go out there and do something on the field before I really buy in. But hey, the Jets addressed the need. That's for sure. Getting some players with upside. That's all you can ask for with a rebuilding team. Dylan with a super chat. The NFC West runs the NFL. The AFC East gets walked by top 2, maybe all 4 holes all over the rosters. Go Hawks. Coach Mike Mack for Coach of the Year. My man Dylan, I need you to answer this question. Do you watch the NFC West Roundtable? Did they tell you to do this? Because I'm on the NFC West Roundtable, because now I'm curious. Did they tell you, be like, go over to the AFC East and tell them that we run this Roundtable Sports Network? Is that what I'm sensing here, Dan?
Is Mike McDonald even top 3 in Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
What is he, 3?
He should be top
Mike
3.
McDonald? Is he 3? He would have to be 3, because last time I checked, Shane Steichen was 1 and Vrabel's 2.
Yeah, I think he's 3.
Yeah, he's damn good at what he's doing, dude.
Definitely has to be top 5.
Hey, bro, it's true. He's a dog.
Well, Dylan, we appreciate the super chat.
He said, no, that's my decision. All right, Dylan. Doubling down, baby. That's awesome. We need more crossing on roundtables. Yes, we do.
That's true.
Yes. So Dylan does watch the NFC West. We do need more crossing. Guys, everybody in the chat, let us know, what other roundtable shows do you watch besides the AFC East? And if you say
Disney
none,
Channel crossover episode,
we're going to be very upset with you. You got to go check out Colby.
So 4th and Forever counts as well. So if you watch 4th and Forever, our daily NFL news show, that counts as well.
He says crossing over on roundtables. 4th and Forever is not a roundtable.
Which roundtable should we cross swords with, boys?
Hey, hold up.
Pause.
Nah.
Damn, brother. Damn, brother.
Whoa,
Damn, brother.
Us over here. Whoa. We got Serve Bell. I'm here from the NFC South. So he's this NFC South guy that's over here watching us. Now, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, because when I was at the NFC West Roundtable event, I was with a bunch of their subscribers, and they didn't even know who I was. And they didn't know what Roundtable Sports was. They just watched the NFC West. They love their guys. I'm like, yeah. And I educated them about who I was. I told them about Colby, Dan, TD, and like the origins of Roundtable. They're like, what? There's a whole network.
And they're like, who's that fool?
Who?
Yo, who's that fool with that?
And damn.
We have AFC West. Oh, man. My guy, Midnight, man. He's watching the ops over in the AFC West. I like that. 4th and Forever. But Robsky saying, none of them fools, man. It's AFC East only. It's AFC East only up in here. Fire the cannons. We have a Tampa Bay Tampa is overrated. We have a New England Wilderness guy coming on it. We have 4th and Forever. We have and the NFC East with Jesse watches. That's great. Yeah, guys, listen, as a reminder, we do have a daily NFL news show where we cover everything. It's called 4th and Forever. So certainly check that out. It's at 1 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Welcome to 4th and Forever, your flagship show of the Roundtable Sports Network. All right, let's get into this final game of the week. A big one. A team that has kind of came back down to earth a little bit against a red-hot Patriots team. Tampa 6-2, Patriots 7-2. What? And I'm assuming the Bucs are coming off of their bye week. I don't think I saw them this past weekend.
Yes, they are. Yes,
so they're getting a little bit healthier after their bunch of injuries. I don't know what their injury report looks like, but Colby, your thoughts of this game?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the game that I circled when the schedule came out. I think everybody gets their schedule and they say, what is the hardest opponent that you're going to have all year? This is the one for me. And I look at that injury report, and I think that is exactly what is going to dictate this game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as always, are just injury-riddled. If they are healthy, I think that this is a game that ultimately they are going to end up winning. But if they are out multiple players, I certainly think that the New England Patriots can win this game. Now, interesting fact, the Patriots are actually better on the road than they are at home. They're the only team left, or excuse me, the second team that is left in the NFL that is undefeated on the road. The Seahawks are the only other team that is. But looking at the injury report that came out today, New England does have a couple of players that could certainly, help swing this game for Tampa Bay. Ramondre Stevenson dealing with a toe injury. He didn't practice. We didn't see him last week either. So that's certainly one to watch. Wide receiver Kayshon Boutte went down against Atlanta with a hamstring injury. He's considered day-to-day. Mike Vrabel said he won't practice early on in the week, but there's a chance for him to open up later on in the week at practice. So that's something to watch. Today, at least, he did not practice. But as for Tampa Bay, Bucky Irving, he's dealing with a foot and shoulder injury. He didn't practice today. Chris Godwin did not practice today. He's dealing with a fibula injury. Hassan Reddick also did not practice today with an ankle and knee injury. So, there's players on both sides of the football that are massive difference makers for Tampa. That's really hard to swing this one. You look at the way the New England Patriots offense can succeed in this game. If Drake May has another game of 200 plus passing yards and a 100 plus passer rating, he's going to break an NFL record. He already broke Patrick Mahomes last week. He's tied for Tom Brady right now. And if he can beat that, then he will hold a new NFL record. Tampa Bay's defense is interesting because they're actually good against the run. They are 7th in run defense, but the Patriots aren't very good at running the football as it is. So this isn't New England Patriots strength against Tampa Bay Buccaneers strength. When you look at Tampa Bay's pass defense, they're ranked 22nd in the NFL. They're giving up 228.8 pass yards per game. That's where the Patriots are succeeding. They are a pass-first offense. So I actually think there's going to be opportunities for the Patriots offensively to put up points and find success the ways that they want to. And I think that with the Patriots' ability to stop the run, whether it's Bucky Irving, whether it's company, they're going to make Baker Mayfield beat them through the air. And if they do not have Chris Godwin, obviously they don't have Mike Evans. Now it gets a little bit more difficult for Baker Mayfield, but Baker is still playing at a very high level, was top of the MVP conversation a few weeks ago, has come back down to earth a little bit. This is going to be a massive test for the Patriots. Right now, these guys are fighting for themselves. I think that's why you're seeing a different New England Patriots team, is because of the culture that Mike Vrabel has instilled into this team. On the sidelines, in the locker room, these guys are playing for each other. Nobody is selfish. Nobody's playing for themselves. It is play for yourselves, play for your brothers, go out there and attack. And that's exactly what they've done. Big thing that scares me, on top of if Tampa Bay can stay healthy, is also the fact that they are coming off of a bye week that is at home. That certainly does give them the advantage. And so, long story short, when looking at this one, I do think it will come down to the injury report. If they are out Hassan Reddick, I do think that does impact their pass rush ability. We did see over the last 2 weeks that when Drake May is being pressured, he faced one of the best pass rushes last week against Atlanta, another top 3 unit against Cleveland the week before. That's when he started to turn the football over. I really do think that Todd Bowles finds unique ways to get alternative pressure with cornerback blitzes, safety blitzes. The play that he'll show you before on pre-snap is going to be different than what they run post-snap, and so that could confuse Drake May a little bit. I'm going to say that the Patriots win this game.
Whoa!
I'm going to say, wait for it. I'm going to say the Patriots win this game if the injury report does continue this way. If Hassan Reddick's not playing, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving, if some of those star guys are out for Tampa Bay, I think that can make a massive, massive difference in this game because those are starting players on both sides of the football. But if they come out healthy on both sides of the football and all those guys end up playing, Tampa Bay is going to run away with this one. Either way, I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be a true test for the Patriots.
Damn Patriots, man. Damn.
I love your Dan Mitchell. What does Dan Mitchell have to say about this one? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are about to go scorched earth on the
scorched earth, brother. No,
player on the New England Patriots offense that can go.
So you said that Booty, he is questionable.
Yeah, and so Booty's questionable with the hamstring injury. He posted on his Discord that he's day-to-day and he could play in this game. But Pop Douglas had his first 100-yard game last week, so he's been going off.
Oh, he actually broke his own. Own.
So it's his first 100-yard game
on his own Discord.
We have Kayshawn Booty broke his own news on Discord.
On his own Discord.
He's telling the chat. He's like, hey,
he's like, yo, guys,
hey, chat.
Bet the under.
I might play. I'm day to day, and like some smart ass kids, everyone. Literally me, pal.
Look into that one.
Literally me. Say that the Patriots want to win this game from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive side of things. You want to avoid Jamel Dean like the plague. While their secondary has its issues, they are very good at guarding wide receiver number ones, and that just goes with Dean, who is more than likely going to be lined up with, I guess, whoever you put on the outside. I know that you guys have been, so I know that like y'all have been utilizing Diggs out of the slot quite a bit this year, but like Dean will more than likely be on Diggs, and then McCollum. Both Tampa Bay is very, very good against wide receiver ones and wide receiver twos, but they are awful when it comes into wide receiver threes, specifically out of the slot, and they are awful against tight ends, and they are awful against running backs in the pass game. So if I'm Vrabel,
That is my game plan. I am peppering all 3 of those targets. Do not be surprised if all 3 of those names, maybe Henderson ends up getting his chops in the receiving game. I think this could be a game to get him going. I don't think Bucky Irving is going to play. I don't think Chris Godwin is going to play. And when you look at this offense, even when all healthy, like this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense has not been electric at all this season, with the exclusion of crazy fourth quarter comebacks from Baker Mayfield. From like, it's wild. Like literally mid, like sort of smack dab in the middle of the pack. It's going to be close. Solid pressure creating defensive line too. I'm going to give it to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a close one with or without injuries. 28-27 with a Baker Mayfield type game-winning drive.
Fair, man. Fair.
Yeah.
What about you, Rich?
Yeah, this is a great game. Big test for the New England Patriots. They're on a hot streak. They have been beaten up on their opponents lately. And I think that this is another big test for Drake May going on the road against a Todd Bowles blitz-heavy defense. You know, the Bucs defense, they have, you know, they give up a lot of big plays. So I think that fits into the Patriots offense because they do get a lot of big plays down the field. They're a vertical offense. They're aggressive. They're not afraid to stretch the ball down the field. They've been proving that all throughout the season. But this is going to be a big test for Drake May in terms of pre-snap. How does he recognize the pre-snap coverage? Because that's what Todd Bowles is so good at, is showing you one thing pre-snap and then abandoning it and showing you something else. He really likes to confuse his opponents. So this is going to be a big test for Drake May. How is he able to do just that? He's got all the talent physically. He's showing the poise. He's showing everything. But if Drake May goes out there and has a relatively solid performance, then he should put them in positions to succeed. Now, when it comes to the Bucs, Baker Mayfield, I think that we're going to see the MVP version of Baker Mayfield come out in this game. And I think the Buccaneers are going to win because of that. Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that even if he just gets to a little bit of adversity, he's going to come out on the other side and just go crazy. I think that it's going to be a high-scoring game. I got the Buccaneers winning 34-31. It's going to be down to the wire, and I got Baker Mayfield leading a game-winning drive at the end, with the Patriots leading at the end, but the Bucs lead a game-winning drive.
Sounds like you and Dan both kind of have that game-winning drive. Yeah, I could certainly see it going that way. Last thing I'll say about this game, too, is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are tied for 18th in the league in points scored, so they can kind of push the ball down the field, but then they kind of stall when it comes to ultimately capitalizing on points. And then points allowed, they are top 10, or they're tied for 10th in the NFL, rather, I should say, in points allowed. So not exactly easy to score, but the Patriots are coming off of a Cleveland defense and an Atlanta defense that are also very good ultimately in points allowed. And so I think there will be opportunities, especially if Hassan Reddick's not in the game, to score some points.
Has Hassan Reddick done anything for them this year?
He's helped with the pass rush unit, but their pass rush unit hasn't been like great.
I'm just asking because he was just an abomination for the Jets last year. So I'm just like,
I don't think he hasn't done anything crazy, I don't think, but without him, they have like literally nobody on that line.
He has 9 tackles, 1.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Bum. You have Vita Vea too. You have Vita Vea.
In the interior.
What is, give me a big game.
How many?
Wait, so what happens in the standings if the Patriots lose and the Bills win?
We take first place.
Whoa!
Yeah. But then
a half-game lead.
But then Buffalo also goes on a pretty hefty run of Pittsburgh, Tampa, Philly.
Ooh,
so that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at Hassan Reddick's other numbers. He has 27 total pressures this season, 23 hurries, 10 stops. So he has actually pretty good numbers. He's not maybe sacking the quarterback a whole lot, but he's at least putting pressure on quarterbacks.
Well, we'll see about it. We got Lino on the hotline. Lino TV. What's up, bro?
Yeah. What's going on, fellas? Hey, man, we gotta do something about NFC West, man. They talking too much over there, man. We originators. We run this, man. We need to set a standard out here.
We gotta hit that like button, Lino.
I hit it all the time.
One thing I will say about the NFC West is that they always show up, though. Like all 4 of them do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is TD fault, giving the Miami Dolphins fans
fault.
hope. You know what I mean? Giving them hope, and then they always sucking each year, man. He need to be real about his team.
That's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I mean? That's the problem. Let's get this going. Hey, I wanted to ask Kobe, how did he feel about his team? You know what I mean, not picking up anybody during the trade deadline and stuff like that. Will it kind of cost them coming down in the future? You know what I mean? Because winter's coming up, and everybody's gonna be running the ball a lot. So I want to know if that kind of will affect him and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I
Thanks for
think
the call,
the fact
Lino.
that they didn't go out and get a running back to me says that the Ramondre Stevenson injury shouldn't be something that is too long term, but it is a little disappointing because you want them to be good now and you want them to be good for the rest of the season. And I think they just understand that this isn't the year to go full out. I don't think the Patriots view themselves right now as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And some people might hate that, but props to the Patriots for understanding where they're at and understanding that it's always been about 2026 and not 2025 and saying, let's do what we can this year. We're going to work with what we have, and we're going to continue to build this thing the proper way in the offseason. So would have loved to see them add depth at running back, depth at edge. Ultimately, they didn't. I think it could certainly bite them in the butt, when it comes playoff time. But again, they get to the playoffs. That's already house money. I'm not really all that upset if they lose. Now, if they lose in 2026, oh, shoot. Whose smoke alarm's going off? Is that you, Richie? You burning something? This guy.
Well, that's going to wrap up the...
Burning dinner?
Dude, my alarm in my apartment building, it literally goes off every time you cook. It's so annoying. It's so sensitive.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Is it in your kitchen? Because they actually say you're not supposed to have a smoke alarm in your kitchen.
Well, it's in the living room, which is I have an open kitchen with an island, so it's like connected to it. So it's
have
right
that
there.
Open, yeah. Well, damn, man, stop burning your dinner, and you won't have a problem with it, man.
No, there's no like you just have the air fryer on or the oven, and it's just heat comes to the top.
So you know what?
Crazy.
So you actually gave me great advice about making bacon. So one day you called me and I was like, Richie, I'm like, every time I make bacon, my damn smoke alarm goes off. And he goes, bro, just throw it in the oven. And I've been doing that ever since.
Dude, it's an underrated way. Underrated way because you don't even need to add any fat because the fat just gets created from within and it gets so crispy and delicious from the heat.
Yeah, dude. Bacon in the oven, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Bacon in the oven. Man. That or sometimes I throw it on the damn Traeger too, brother. Senior Bowl, dude, Senior Bowl, when y'all are at my house, I'm going to smoke you guys some wonderful meat, dude. Just wait.
Smoking me some wonderful meat at Dan's house.
Who we crossing swords with, all right?
Someone got to get Dan Mitchell off this show. Because it's past his bedtime. Well, folks, we're going to wrap up this show. He's getting a little delusional. Just kidding. Hey, yo! Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate it. I think we hit all the super chats. And yeah, 4th and Forever tomorrow. AFC East Roundtable is going to wrap up here. A nice hour and 45 minutes of action. And yeah, man, we got big games coming up. Divisional game, Bills and Dolphins, Jets, Browns, and Patriots, Bucks, baby.
Damn,
Let's
Rich.
go. Yeah, man. That was crazy.
Breaks your heart.
Yeah, dude. Well, A.D. Mitchell is the future.
Dude, you sounded like an Irishman.
Breaks your heart. Breaks your heart.
Oh, man. All right, man. Well, we'll see you guys later. Much love as always. We're out of here. Enjoy your evening.
Peace.